right, Stephen Miller wants to call you. You sitting at home watching this YouTube channel or listening on your commute to this podcast. He wants to call you a domestic terrorist. This is projection because everybody knows the MAGA party are the domestic terrorists. And no one has terrorized this country more than the extremely evil Senator Mitch McConnell, who every single chance he could get to vote against paid leave, he voted to side with the corporations and not with people that are sick. But what is he doing right now? He's doing what every Republican does. He's being a hypocrite. I think he's probably half dead, brain dead, because all he could do is just hop on the phone. If he can talk to compulsive liar Lady Jennings all the time, he certainly could speak to the press and his voters, but he refuses to. He refuses to, but yet he's taking in a paycheck from the Kentucky taxpayers. Here is the governor of Kentucky, Andy Beshear, on the matter. Play the clip.
Have you heard anything back from his office on how he's doing?
I've heard absolutely nothing back from Mitch McConnell. And while I do hope that he is getting better, I've known him my entire life. I wish him no harm. I actually wish him good health. His boss are the people of Kentucky. And this is why the Senate, the Republican-controlled Senate, feels so broken. They feel like they're not accountable to anyone. All he needs to do is call into this show for 2 minutes, or Fox News for 2 minutes, or do a video for 2 minutes to the people he's supposed to serve. But you know what? He absolutely refuses to do it. And then,
does he refuse to do it, or is he incapable of doing it? Is this a man who voted against anybody having anything good in their lives and always voted for all of these super rich, crusty, pink arm white Republicans? And then he's just still tormenting everybody when he's probably brain dead? Yes, that's exactly what's happening. Does the Republican Party give a shit? No. Do the voters of Kentucky give a shit? I think they probably do. But the Republican Party has taught the electorate, we get to abuse you. And so they do it with impunity. And get this, while there's all this red scare, Stephen Miller, oh my God, Antifa is on the left, which are just, all of us here. And oh my God, they're communists. Every single time Donald Trump has a choice to align himself with the good forces in the world, pro-democracy governments, or with authoritarians, what does he pick? Authoritarians. Why does he pick the authoritarians? Because the authoritarians all have psychological profiles on him that are razor thin. And what the profile is, tell him he's great. Tell him he's the best, most badass leader you've ever seen in your life. And then Trump is just absolutely lapping it up. Pop this up. Trump says he has ordered Pete Hegseth to substantially reduce joint U.S.-South Korea military exercises, citing his relationship with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and calling the drills hostile. Trump says he is helping North Korea because South Korea refused to join his failed war against Iran. Also, in Trump 1.0, Trump said that he had fallen in love with Kim Jong-un. I would think that such a crazy, unhinged statement when he went on about, we write love letters to each other and we've fallen in love. I would think that the electorate would be like, you know what, this guy's pretty crazy. Let's not vote him in again. He's falling in love with a dipshit dictator. No, we voted him in again. And the day before all of this, Trump posted on Truth Social about how much he loves Kim Jong-un. Pop this up. Trump, despite the unfriendly look on this particular picture, there are many where we're smiling. Kim Jong-un and I get along great. So this is just, these are Trump's heroes. I mean, Kim Jong-un, you guys, like, he mind controls his population so much. And this is for real, what I'm about to tell you, that the people of North Korea think that he doesn't take a shit. I mean, that's the level of insanity that we have going in here. You can Google it. They tell the Koreans, Kim Jong-un is so amazing, he doesn't even take a shit. So this is just insane. Of course, Trump, the crazier, the more of a pathological liar, the more you deny people human rights, the more you take, and fleece for yourself. Of course, Trump is like, sign me up. I'm Team Kim Jong-un, which again brings me to why is the Republican Party, all of these national security Republicans, these pink arm, crusty white guys, Why do they go along with this absolute faceplant of American power? Okay, now we have Marjorie Taylor Greene jumping back in, saying that the Trump administration is considering nuking Iran. And I have to say, I kind of believe her, because the Iranians are like, we're not dealing with your crazy president. We're not dealing with all the incompetent people around him. They're liars. They're idiots. We're done. Benjamin Netanyahu, it has been rumored, is the one who told Trump, the Iranians are trying to kill you, which is why he got into the catering cart. And then catering cart boy and Natalie Harp then went over and left everybody else on the decoy plane. Why would Benjamin Netanyahu do this? Because he's trying to sabotage any negotiations with Iran. He's trying to be like, you can't negotiate with them. You can't negotiate with them. Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump getting together and psycho nut job Pete Hegseth, I think they would all absolutely 100% nuke Iran. So pop this up. Marjorie Taylor Greene says they are discussing using nuclear weapons on Iran in strategy meetings. Yes, you read that correctly. It's real. I'm not speculating. I know. And it's pure evil. And she goes on and on. So here's the thing. I think they're going to try to do something batshit crazy before the midterms, because even people inside Trump's regime are saying, yeah, I think we're going to get completely taken out, blue tsunami out the wazoo in these midterms. And so Benjamin Netanyahu has been very astute in staying in power by creating crises that keep him in power. He has a vested interest in keeping Donald Trump in power because he either has compromising information on him with the Epstein files, which I think is probably a fairly reasonable thing to think. And also he knows how to pile on praise to him to manipulate him. So both of these people have a vested interest in keeping Trump 2.0 in power. And here's a clip of Trump now threatening to bomb Amman. Now, remember, this is a man who would not shut up forever about the Nobel Peace Prize. Okay, so he did win the FIFA Peace Prize, but it's just shocking to me that the FIFA Peace Prize winner would say shit like this. Play the clip.
Now, I asked the president about these parallel talks that are taking place between Iran and Oman about control of the Strait of Hormuz. And the president told Fox News, if Oman gets in the way, we'll bomb the S out of them. We went on to talk about a
Perfect. I mean, that's just perfect. That's what, when I think of peace, that's exactly what I think. And to illustrate my point about how Israel, the government of Israel, has a vested interest in keeping the morally bankrupt Trump regime in power, because they are also morally bankrupt. Here is a quote from Ben Gvir on the Palestinians. Pop this up. I think targeted assassinations should be carried out in Gaza, taking down 30 to 40 every night. Not just those who pose an immediate threat. There are people there who are not worthy of life. They shouldn't live. They aren't even people. So who else thinks like this? Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller talks not about like just assassinating them, but Stephen Miller says we need to deport 100 million people. But this also sounded eerily familiar to Trump 1.0 when he asked people in his cabinet if he could shoot protesters to clear out the park. I believe it's called Lafayette Park. So that he could walk over to the church and hold a Bible upside down. He was like, can't we just clear them out? Can't you just shoot them in the legs? And they're like, no, it doesn't work like that. So this is what bonds this government, ours, Donald Trump's MAGA regime, the fascist MAGA regime. And this is what bonds Israel. This is why Israel wanted Donald Trump to be president over Kamala Harris, because he doesn't give a shit what Ben Gvir says. That doesn't shock him at all. He's probably like, well, yeah, they could clear it out and then we could have a great real estate development there. They don't value human life, while the Republican Party goes on, national tours telling us how they are going to fight for life and make sure rapists have more rights than women, or they're going to make sure that a 13-year-old victim of incest doesn't have any rights. And so this is the fundamental link between the MAGA regime in Israel. They do not value human life at all. The Ben Gavirs, the Stephen Millers, the Pete Hegseths, the Donald Trumps, and everybody who went along with it. This is blood on your hands. This is not going to age well. And I will just say anybody within the MAGA orbit or anybody within the Israeli government orbit, if you are not robustly speaking out about this, it's an act of violence, in my opinion. This is something that needs to be condemned from top to bottom, but they won't. They won't do it. They'll continue to propagandize and gaslight us. All right, listener, I don't know about you, but as you start to age a little bit, your body starts feeling off, your brain feels foggy, and I'm like, something is going on here. So I go to the doctor and I'm like, I swear I'm not a hypo, something's going on. They're like, no, you're completely fine. Everything's great. But you just know yourself and you know your gut instinct. That's why I'm so proud I signed up for Superpower. It's one simple blood draw that gives you information on over 100 of your blood biomarkers, your annual physical checks, 10 to 15 for comparison. So as you can see, so much stuff can be left out there. They also give you supplement recommendations, prescription suggestions, and you actually can get your biological age. Superpower gives you access to high-end concierge level care at the absolute best price on the market. In the future, you guys, we're going to end up laughing about how our healthcare was all reactive. Listener, take control of your health with Superpower. For a limited time, our listeners get $20 off their Superpower membership. Head over to superpower.com and use code IHIP for $20 off. And after you sign up, they're going to ask how you heard about Superpower, and make sure to tell them that IHIP sent you to support our show. And then I want to leave you with this. This is a clip on how corporate media covers for the Israeli government. So remember what I just read to you from Ben Gvir. Assassinate 40 people every night because they're not worthy of life. No due process, no care about where, just kill them because he wants to completely take over the strip. So watch how corporate media covers up for homicidal, genocidal murderers. Play the clip.
Was committing a genocide in
That's
Gaza.
incorrect. That is factually incorrect.
It has been regarded by the United Nations and Amnesty International and even Israeli human rights organizations, including B'Tselem. There's
the definition of genocide in the UN has said this, does not apply to what many people might think as a disproportionate wartime action. That's what that is in many people's minds. Genocide is a very specific thing. Actually, genocide being committed against Jewish people, not by Israel.
Okay. This is the fundamental problem with where we are in this stage of what's going on geopolitically. Is that gal right there? She says that she thinks she's an expert, and you have 20 or 30 different experts, genocide scholars, and she thinks, this news reporter in South Florida, that she knows more than all of the experts. And she gets on TV and she says that, and she's not fired. That's the problem. That woman should be fired for bold-faced lying. And good on Oliver Larkin. Everybody in Florida, please go vote for him. I've had him on the podcast. He is incredible. But the fundamental problem right now, think about Scott Jennings, gets on TV every night and lies, intentionally lies, and he's not fired. That lady gets on television and intentionally lies, and she's not fired. Because the Fox News lesson here is Fox News lied and lied and lied and lied and lied to their electorate. They lied so much, they were ordered to pay $1 billion in damages to the voting machine company that they lied about. Fox News ponies up the $1 billion and then continues to go on air and lie, and nobody cares. We have just accepted lying as a part of discourse. And that to me is such a fundamental problem right now. That woman didn't say it is my opinion that all of these experts are wrong. She flat out then flips the script and says there's a genocide being propagated or instigated on the Jewish people. So it's just lie on top of lie on top of lie. And the corporate media allows the lies, which makes them not media, but propaganda arms of these fascist regimes. All right. Pumps is still on vacation. I'm manning the ship solo. I'm traveling this week as well, but it's working travel. And make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, like this video, and pre-order my book. It's called Not Today Fascists. I talk a lot about all of this in the book. It comes out October 6th, but the pre-sales and the pre-orders help more than you know. I'll be back later with more news.